I never thought betrayal could come from someone I trusted the most. They always say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. But what happens when your enemy is the one you called your best friend? What happens when the person you laughed with, cried with, and shared secrets with turns out to be the one who was quietly sharpening a knife behind your back? This is not just another story about heartbreak or disappointment. This is the story of how I was used, how I was manipulated, and how every kind gesture I thought was real turned out to be part of her grand plan. But here's the part she never expected. What she didn't know was that every move she made against me was leading her closer to her own downfall. Her name was Vanessa. To everyone else, she was the golden girl. Bright smile, sweet voice, always ready to help. And to me, at first, she was everything. We met in college and clicked instantly. She helped me with assignments, pushed me when I doubted myself, even told me, girl, you're going places. Stick with me and we'll rise together. And I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She looked me in the eye when she said it. She held my secrets, comforted me when I cried, and stood by my side when life felt heavy. Or at least that's what I thought. What I didn't realize then was that every smile was a mask, every encouragement was an investment, and every word of loyalty was a loan she was planning to collect with interest. At first, the cracks were small. She would borrow things and never give them back. She would take credit for group projects I worked hours on. I told myself, that's just Vanessa. She doesn't mean harm. But then came the bigger things. She introduced me to new people, promised she'd vouch for me, and she did. But always in a way that made her the shining star and me the background shadow. I told myself I was imagining it. Best friends don't betray each other, right? Deep down, though, I knew. I could feel it. I was being played. The breaking point came with the internship. It wasn't just any internship. It was the one. Career-changing, life-defining. We promised not to compete against each other, that no matter what happened, our friendship would come first. I believed her promise. She believed my trust. Behind my back, she copied my ideas, stole my words, even used the personal story I had once shared with her in tears, turning it into her own. She walked into that interview armed with pieces of my soul, and she walked out with the internship that should have been mine. Later, I found out she had whispered to the recruiters that I was a little unreliable sometimes. She planted doubt where there should have been belief. That's when the truth hit me. Vanessa didn't see me as a friend. She saw me as a ladder, and she was more than willing to step on me to climb. I could have cried. I could have begged. I could have cut her off and disappeared quietly. But something inside me hardened. I realized she thought she was the smartest one in the room. She thought I was too naive to ever notice. She thought she could use me forever, and that was her mistake. She didn't realize I had been watching, listening, and remembering. I decided to play the long game. I smiled at her fake smile. I clapped at her fake success. I pretended to be the same trusting friend she thought I was, while secretly building a plan brick by brick. Every secret she told me, every lie she spun, every shortcut she took, I documented it all. I didn't need to scream or fight. I was preparing the kind of silence that would one day echo louder than any words. Months later, Vanessa was riding high. That internship opened doors, and she flaunted it everywhere she went. She invited me to events, not out of kindness, but to remind me of what I had lost. And I went. Oh, I went to every single one because I wanted a front row seat to the moment her mask would finally slip. That moment came during a major presentation. Vanessa was the star of the show, or so she thought. She stood tall, presenting ideas that weren't hers, selling dreams built on lies. But the people in that room didn't know the truth yet. That's when the work I had done quietly, patiently, revealed itself. I made sure the right eyes saw the truth at the right moment. The stolen words, the copied concepts, the shortcuts, the cracks in her perfect image. It all unraveled in real time. Her presentation collapsed, whispers spread across the room. Her credibility, her charm, her mask, gone. The people who once clapped for her now stared with doubt, disappointment, even disgust. Vanessa looked around desperately, searching for someone to defend her, someone to rescue her. But there was no one left. She was exposed, and she knew it. Later, she called me. She cried. She begged. She said she didn't mean to hurt me. She said she only wanted to succeed. But her words no longer had weight. She had already shown me who she truly was. I didn't scream. I didn't gloat. I just told her calmly, "You used me for your gain, and you thought I wouldn't notice. But every action has a price, and you just paid yours." Then I hung up. Looking back, I realized betrayal is one of the hardest teachers, but also one of the most powerful. It hurts, but it reveals. It shows you who people really are. It teaches you not to believe words without actions, and it forces you to see the strength you didn't know you had. Vanessa's betrayal could have destroyed me, but instead, it built me. It made me sharper, wiser, and stronger, and it showed me that sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't anger or screaming. It's the truth finally coming out. So if you've ever been betrayed, if you've ever been used, remember this: you are stronger than the betrayal. And no matter how long it takes, truth has a way of shutting down even the loudest of liars.